Heyo, welcome to Bloodhaus, the show where we talk about art house horror movies. I'm your host, Joshua Conkel.
And I'm a 68-year-old teenage goth vampire, Drusilla Adeline, and welcome to another week of Bloodhaus.
We're back!
We're back, baby.
We're back and better than ever. Thank you so much for letting us take a month-long break. We didn't intend to do that necessarily, but boy, did we need it, and thank you so much.
We extremely needed it. There was a lot going on. It's been on the one hand, it's been nice, but on the other hand, oh my god, I've missed doing this so much.
Me too. Cruel summer. The listeners were very, very kind. Of course, some of you may know that I lost my mom, and so I was in Washington and then Kentucky, taking care of my mom at the end of her life, and then burying her. And so it was incredibly difficult, and a lot of people sent flowers and food and nice notes, and it was really lovely. But I'm glad to be back in the real America, aka Hollywood, California, to talk about art house horror movies and everything else that we discuss here.
This is the real America. If only for the sheer fact that we've had the most amount of natural disasters this year.
God.
Woo!
Yeah, everywhere I went, people are like, how is it in LA? And I was like, oh boy. And then I would just like recount 5 years of just like horrific things that we've been through here.
And as soon as you got back, tsunami time.
It's crazy.
Woo!
How are you? You moved. Your house looks great.
I did. Thank you. You helped me move, which was a massive part of that. Josh showed off his butch strength and his muscles. Literally at one point during it, I like offered to help Josh with something, and he turned to me and in all earnestness said, "I'm stronger than you." And then like kept going. And I was like, "Oh, you're right." You are. That's true. Sorry.
I'm strong like bull.
But yes, thank you so much for doing that. And I do have 2 little gifts for you at the house as a thank you. But yeah, my girlfriend and I moved. We are in a house. It's not just a euphemism for home, it's a house. And I now live in fabulous Burbank, California, home of Rowan and Martin's Laughing. Yeah, I love it. It's a time capsule house.
It's a crazy cool house, like smoked mirrors, wood paneling. Yeah. It's giving cocaine. It's giving key party. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. I want Jackie Suzanne to feel comfortable at a Tupperware party is the vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
It's coming along really beautifully. And so, every single day I feel like is doing some kind of setting the house up. We've been in for a month now, but it's still like hanging art, buying more furniture because it's twice the size of the place I was living at before. In one of the like agreements to keep my giant IKEA piece that holds all my DVDs and Blu-rays with my girlfriend was that I stain it a darker color of wood to match our now wood paneled back den. And that's taken up the past like 3 weeks of my life because there's so much of it. And it's the first time I've ever had stained wood ever. So it's a lot of learning about cure times and hazardous metals.
Well, if it's also like MDF IKEA, like fake wood, like that kind of wood, you have to shellac it before you paint it. Otherwise, the paint will come off of it. Yeah. This is a lesson I learned the hard way.
Well, it's not paint. It's a mineral stain, and then on top of that, a polyurethane finish, a satin finish. It's been a month. It's been very long. I feel like I've been doing so much, and every day has involved power tools to one degree or another.
Don't you love that though? I love that kind of thing. I love doing stuff around the house. I love power tools. I love painting. Like, this is my shit.
I was really into it for the first week, and then for the first 2 or 3 weeks, and then like when it is still like that, it's been a little like, oh, okay. But we're coming to the end of that phase. My shelves should all be dry and like clean and safe today, so I should start being able to rebuild them today or this week. The other great thing is that I live now close to a library branch, within walking distance at
Ooh,
least. So I got a library card
that's great.
for the first time in years, and it literally brought me to tears as a librarian. Like gave me the card and then gave me the like walkthrough of all their services and stuff like that, and that there's no late fees anymore,
Uh,
and that like you get things for like 3 weeks at a time.
oh my
And
gosh.
they auto renew it, and there's like a library store that sells like VHS tapes for a quarter, and
Whoa.
like I've been going to the library like once a week to check out movies, and it's been making me really happy. And they have so much weird shit, and I can just check out and rent whatever I want. I was just telling you before we started recording that I just watched the 70s disaster thriller movie Roller Coaster. It's because they
Yes.
had it at the library, a movie that's not streaming.
Favorite film of my friend Mia. Shout out to Mia. I know that you listen. I don't know if you listen to this episode, but Mia introduced me to that movie. She took me to a screening of it. She loves it. She's a child of the 70s and loves disaster movies. That movie has a roller coaster disaster opening from the 70s that rivals the Final Destination roller coaster opening. It's good. It's really good.
Stressful. And
Yeah.
then in the back half, you get a live concert from Sparks,
Sparks.
which is the reason I watched it.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
And I guess George Siegel, but like,
George Siegel, dare I say it, kind of hot.
oh
in the
yeah.
70s?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Especially like California Split, where it's like him and Elliot Gould just kind of like
Yeah.
whoring around. Let them do what they want to do. Let them put their money in a shoe. Whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I'm rebuilding my life in a way that is upgrading it severely. I walk a lot more. I have a library card. I have a larger homestead. I have a giant kitchen I get to cook in all the time. I have a library, like not only a library card and walking distance to a library, but I have a home library. Like there's
Is
a
your
room.
library full of porcelain dolls because of Ivory?
Nope, it's the one room in the house.
You have a doll room?
It's the one room in the house without porcelain dolls. But yes, so you know, as the man once said, everything's coming up Millhouse, despite work. So have you seen anything good recently, Josh?
Well, truth be told, I've been watching a ton of things that my mom loved, and she did not like horror movies. But she and I had a shared love of fantasy. I got that from her. So I watched like The Last Unicorn and the old animated The Hobbit and the Bakshi Lord of the Rings, and you know, a lot of stuff like that. But one thing I did watch that's relevant to the show, and I'm convinced that I'd never seen this, despite thinking that I had. 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh yeah.
I think that I had just thought I'd seen it because of cultural osmosis. You know what I mean? It's one of those movies. But when I sat down to watch it,
and you were met with
like,
monkeys, and you were
well,
like, "Oh,
well, of course I'd seen that, right?
Yeah.
Because of the cultural osmosis of it all. But like, when I was watching it from start to finish, I was like, I don't think I've ever actually sat down and watched this start to finish. I think I've just seen it in bits and bobs, like from the culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I had such a good time. It was like on the drive back from Washington. And I have to say, I really lucked out because I stopped in Eugene and Sacramento. And when I stopped in Eugene, I randomly picked this hotel that was like a Victorian house, bed and breakfast.
Cute.
And
randomly, that feels like a strategic move on your part.
It was not random. I picked it, but it was just like, what looks nice in Eugene, right? So that's how it was random. And I got the last room, which was the old carriage house.
Oh.
And it was not expensive. It was like $150 a night, but I got the most expensive room. And because it was last minute, it was the normal price. And so it had a separate living room, bedroom.
Cool.
Had a jacuzzi tub in the room, fireplace, 4-poster bed, a balcony that was hidden by a giant sycamore tree overlooking like a beautiful courtyard with like, you know, like cafe.
Is this
tables
the Madonna Inn? Where
it was
is this?
So beautiful. Eugene, Oregon. It had a fireplace. I think I said that. It had like a Victorian settee at the edge of the bed. So this is where I'm watching the movie.
So you're watching 2001: A Space Odyssey from basically the room at the end of 2001: A Space Odyssey?
Yeah. Yes. So Anyway, I was just like floored by the movie. Of course, it's incredible. I kind of didn't know that it. I don't know. I just hadn't seen it. That's the truth. I
Mhm.
hadn't seen it. I thought I had. I was fascinated by the story of like our evolution alongside of technology. You know what I mean? I just thought it was so smart and brilliant and obviously so beautiful. I loved Keir Delay and his little workout shorts, of course. I
Having
thought
his
that
little jog.
his little jog. I thought that ship didn't make sense. Like, why would you design a ship like a hamster wheel? Like, surely there's a more thoughtful way to design a spaceship.
It's because Kubrick has a very like prurient 12-year-old sense of humor. So it's a lot of dick and ball jokes.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. 2001: A Space Odyssey has so many dick and ball jokes in it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But I was thinking about during the movie, I was like, if this came out today, people would say that it's messy or
Mhm.
that it is like, yeah, I just thought that people would think it's messy. You know, I was thinking of movies like Sinners or Beau is Afraid or movies that are like,
Babylon.
yeah, movies that are like formally daring in some way.
Mhm.
And that movie, 2001: Space Odyssey, is like extremely formally daring. And I think people were more open to that in the 60s and 70s because the Hollywood system had, the studio system had failed so direly. Now I think people would just call it a mess. You know?
It's crazy how that movie was perceived in 67 or
68.
68 when it
This
came
is only
out.
Oscar, right?
Um
Kubrick, I mean.
Yeah, the
I
only
think
one
it
that
is.
he actually won, but it's a weird one because the win was for special effects, and they gave it to
Oh.
him, which
Uh-huh.
like the heads of the special effects department were all kind of like, "That's weird. It should have been our
Yeah.
names, but
Yeah.
okay." Um, which is odd. He of course Barry Lyndon won like 3 Oscars or whatever. Um, but it's weird because when 2001 came out, the like New York film critics hated it.
Oh,
They
did they?
skewered it. It got really bad reviews when it first came out, but the public loved it. It was a
It's
populist hit, which
incredible.
is insane to think.
Yeah.
And that's why it then almost immediately got re-released and remarketed as you know, an insane trip or whatever. Like leaning into the counterculture, like drop acid at the midpoint
Yeah.
so that the Stargate sequence really hits for you, kind of thing.
I'm going to say something that's maybe a hot take. The movie is mysterious, but also, you know what? Makes perfect sense. It, the story is very clear. It's
It
not that obtuse. You
it
know what I
feels
mean?
very straightforward to
Yes.
me. I don't know,
Me
but
too.
granted, and I'll get this out of the way. I don't like that movie.
Oh,
I
really? I guess it's not a very Drusilla-ish movie.
No, it's a very cold, clinical technology, hard sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
That's very slow and methodical.
Yeah.
And so a lot of it is me just going, I get it. I get it. It's me like hitting fast forward and being very bored. I
Oh,
don't
I love
actually
it.
fast
I
forward
loved
through
it.
it, but I just my bones itch while watching it. I
Mhm.
like the end.
Mhm.
Well, I don't like the final shot. I think the final shot is fucking stupid. But I like the Stargate sequence and the ending and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I like all of that. I think is great and like really well done and very much prefigures The Shining in a big way.
Yeah.
It's my least favorite Kubrick by like a mile.
Oh, I think it's so beautiful. And I love the mystery of the monoliths. Like, I think that's so
Mhm.
delicious of like this alien species that just like leaves these monoliths everywhere.
You know what? I will say that we'll also have even more people throwing stones at me. I
Uh,
think the 1980s sequel film with Helen Mirren and Keir Delay and Bob Balaban, 2010, the year we made
mm.
contact. I think that movie rips. I think that movie's
Oh, really?
amazing.
I don't
I
know
think it's
this movie.
underrated.
I want
John
to see it.
Lithgow is also in it.
Uh-huh.
There's a spacewalk sequence in the middle of it where I think like Bob Balaban and Lithgow have to like go out of the like space station to go fix something, and it's one of the most tensely put together sequences ever, and it like properly like pulls back and connects to the mysteries of the original film in a way that I don't think underserves what the first film was doing at all. It's really good. It's really underrated. And I think the general consensus of people who haven't seen it is, how dare you make a sequel? But it's like, the author of the book wrote the sequel. Like, I don't know what you're going to do. But everyone that's seen it is always like, yeah, no, it's fucking great. So 2010, the year we made contact, I give a roaring recommendation to. But it's directed by Peter Hyams, who made a shit ton of sci-fi movies, but also Stay Tuned.
Oh my 90s. Gosh, I love Stay Tuned.
So I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there's a more grounded element to 2010 that I can connect with. And it's, I think, playing a little bit more as a like popcorn movie in a way that I like. I don't know. When it's like watching people walk very slowly through space and click buttons, I get very bored very fast.
Oh, I'm into it. I'm like, give me that all day long. I love the flight attendants in space with their like weird bubble helmets who can like barely walk with their little trays. I'm into all of that. I love a super sad, slow sci-fi movie. Like, you're a big fan of The Man Who Fell to Earth, though, right?
Yes, I am.
God, I love that movie.
I'm also a big fan of the Tarkovsky movie
Stalker.
Not Stalker. I haven't seen Stalker all the way through. So
boring, but so good.
Solaris.
Solaris is so good.
Which Solaris famously came out in like, I think 1970 or 72 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's because 2001 was this giantly praised thing. And the Russian government was like, oh my God, can you believe how good this is? And this is the middle of like the space race. And Tarkovsky saw it 2001 and was like, that sucks. Tarkovsky hated it, and it was like, I'll do you one better. And he went off and made Solaris. And I love Solaris. Solaris is great.
Solaris, and I love Stalker. I love both of those movies so much.
Yeah. I still need to see the remake with George Clooney. The like Steven Soderbergh Solaris.
But I think it's supposed to be pretty good, no?
It's supposed to be very good from what I've heard. I love Solaris.
I'd love to read that book.
Yeah. Lem, right? Mm-hmm. The author? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Super out of print. Super hard to find.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just thinking my mom read like a sci-fi book or a fantasy book like at least one a week my entire life. God. I spent the summer dipping my toes into that space.
It's a huge space. You should do it more. Similarly, they're showing your favorite movie of all time at Vidiots next month.
Oh, Dark Crystal?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, you should go. And
I'm gonna go.
I'm definitely going to go. I mean, I've seen it at Vidiots before. I go all the time whenever there's screenings of that. But thank you for the update and the notice.
Of course. It feels like a Josh staple. Like,
yeah, of course. It's like it is my favorite movie. I love it. Yeah. What about you? Have you seen anything good?
I have. I've seen a good number of good things. I will say, just because it's the one like new release thing, I saw Superman.
Oh, did you?
And I had a good time with it. I've never seen a Superman movie before.
I haven't either.
I saw
Supergirl in the 80s.
With Faye Dunaway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never saw the Christopher Reeve ones. I never saw the Kevin Spacey one. I never saw, the Zack
Wait,
Snyder
Kevin
ones.
Spacey?
He didn't play Superman.
Oh,
He's
okay.
fucking the villain.
Okay.
But it's directed by the other fucking piece of shit, Bryan Singer.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah. Combination made in hell.
Wow.
But like, I liked the Suicide Squad, and I like Peacemaker, and I liked some stuff that James Gunn has done. And I really like a lot of the people that are in the cast. I like Beck Bennett a lot because I love...
Beck Bennett is in it?
Beck Bennett is in it.
I love him.
I love Greener Grass. And like when we left Superman, we just kept quoting Greener Grass the whole time. It's really good. I had a lot of fun with it.
Great.
For like a big, dumb superhero action movie, it's very politically activated in a way that I found very exciting and very fun.
I'm kind of curious about it. I hate superhero movies, but the buzz is so good about Superman that it's kind of like activated my curiosity a bit.
It's a really good straight down the middle, like summer popcorn movie, and it's doing better numbers than any of the Marvel movies right now, which I find so funny.
Well, I do like that, and I do somewhat like. I will say I do somewhat like DC because I kind of like Batman movies from time to time.
The Robert Pattinson one was super good. I really liked The Suicide Squad, the one that James Gunn directed with Margot Robbie. But also,
I liked Birds of Prey.
I love Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
I feel like you might like The Suicide Squad, but at the same time, it is very much a like James Gunn post Joss Whedon superhero popcorn riff on like The Dirty Dozen. Like it's very much riffing on those like ribald 70s war action movies.
Okay.
That are very
like go either way on that.
Anti-hero focused.
I like anti-heroes. I just can't get with Joss Whedon type dialogue anymore. I've had a lifetime full of like, he's right behind me, isn't he? Or like, are we really doing this? Like that kind of stuff. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. No more, please.
I think James Gunn is infinitely better at that, and I don't think Joss Whedon's been good at that since Buffy.
Well, even in Buffy, I can't rewatch Buffy anymore. I can't rewatch Buffy anymore because of it. I am like, why do these people talk like babies? I once loved this show so much, and I've just moved beyond it. I just like
you can't watch Sarah Michelle Gellar say that she and math are not mixy things.
Oh God, mixy cringe so hard. I can't take it.
It's extremely twee dialogue, and putting that into like Robert Downey Jr.'s mouth as a tech billionaire superhero is weird.
I do not like it.
But Superman was fun, and I think The Suicide Squad is much better and is a very interesting, very anti-American film. I love it. But I also went to the theater to see an even cooler movie. And it was introduced by, and I got to have drinks beforehand with, Karina Longworth.
Oh my God. You had drinks with Karina Longworth?
Of the You Must Remember This podcast. Well,
BetterHelp.
She's been doing a series at the Los Feliz Theater to coincide with the new season of You Must Remember This, The Old Man Is Still Alive, about Hollywood directors from like the early part of the 20th century that by the 60s, 70s, and 80s were all old men, but were still making movies about like trying to tap into the youth market at the time and either succeeding or failing. And they were showing one of my favorite movies ever, which is Bedazzled. The Stanley Donen joint with Peter Cook and
I don't know it.
Dudley Moore. It's so goddamn funny. Are you familiar with the Brendan Fraser remake from the late 90s?
Yes.
Okay.
Although I did not know it was a remake.
Yeah. So man sells soul to devil for 7 wishes to try and seduce a woman that he has feelings for. Very simple premise. With Peter Cook and Dudley Moore, it's so goddamn funny. Peter Cook plays the devil, and he's so smarmy and shitty, and he's dressed like to the nines. Raquel Welch plays the embodiment of lust in it with like a southern accent. She's so goddamn funny, even though she's got like 5 minutes of screen time. It's one of my favorite movies ever, and we took a bunch of friends to go see it. And it made us so happy to see all of them cackling their little heads off. It's very like proto Monty Python. It's very much like what they were riffing on when they founded Monty Python. I think it's so goddamn funny. I think it's so inventive. I think it's so smart. And it was very funny to see it introed by Karina Longworth beforehand. She doesn't pop her teas and stuff like that. And
I knew it.
It's just for the podcast.
I knew it.
That's her radio voice.
Radio voice. Fatty Arbuckles. Tiny mittens.
I just had to tell you that. I thought you would appreciate that.
Love her. I stan her so hard, but
well, speaking of women that we stan and that we love, how about a humanist vampire?
Yes. So this is a movie I picked before my mom died 6 weeks ago. So I had to rewatch it this week. And I'm glad I did because we both found it so charming. This is a movie from Montreal. Co-written and directed by Ariane Louise Says. It is humanist vampire seeking consenting suicidal person.
Il n'y a plus de pochette.
Ouais, je sais, ta mère, il va tantôt.
C'est pas vrai que c'est moi qui vais chasser pour tout le monde pendant 200 ans.
Quoi, c'est moi qui est allé lundi?
Bravo.
C'est la compassion de votre fille qui est stimulée quand elle voit des gens mourir. Pas sa faim.
Les goûts, ça se développe. Tu vas voir, tu vas finir par aimer ça. J'ai pas besoin de tuer du monde pour savoir que j'aimerais pas ça. T'es tues peut-être pas, Sacha, mais t'es manges pareil.
Oh, and I should say that this is from 2023.
Yeah, it's super recent.
Very recent. I had heard a lot of buzz about this. I think it premiered at Venice. Yes, 80th Venice Festival, and then it was at Toronto as well in 2023. So I'd been hearing some buzz about this for a couple of years, and I'd always meant to watch it. And I thought, oh, I have a podcast about horror movies, and this is an indie movie and French-Canadian. I think that is sufficiently arty. I'll use this as an excuse to watch it finally. And in the first scene, I was like, oh, I don't know about this. This could be too cutesy and twee for me. And it is cute and twee, but I think my worries were quickly quelled. I think it is cute and twee, but is also sufficiently thoughtful and somber enough to not be obnoxious with those traits. I think the direction is very good. The production design is really good. The acting is really good. I think the love story between two teenage outsiders is really charming. I have some quibbles that we'll get into, but I thought it was just so sweet and charming, and I really liked it. And I thought the whole time, I was like, man, if I were in high school watching this, I would be obsessed.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
feel like
perfect teen movie.
I feel like this and Lisa Frankenstein would make such a lovely double feature of the teen girl monster flicks.
Yeah, totally.
Making a boyfriend, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel a little jealous for kids that are growing up in high school that get these high school or middle school that get these movies, but at the same time, growing up right now must fucking suck ass. So
I know. We didn't have to battle fascists, so
and fucking AI and shit.
Yeah,
so like,
exactly.
This was such a delightful watch. I also watched it. I watched like the first half a little while ago. And then I got a text from you midway through watching it being like, hey, can we like do it like later? And I was like, cool. And I like stopped the movie. Nothing against the movie. I was just like, I was very, very tired and had so many other things to do. And I was like, cool, reprieve. So I just started it over from the beginning. So first of all, my immediate response to this movie was, this is exactly the kind of thing I was trying to write when I was in middle school and high school.
Yeah.
Of like sweet teenage love revenge story through a like specific anachronistic vampire lens. I like, it is truly like Only Lovers Left Alive for like the 16-year-old crowd.
Yeah.
And I love that so much. This is like, had I seen this when I was a teenager, this would have been my whole personality. I would have had such severe bangs, which would not work with my face. But the reason that I hadn't seen it until doing it for the podcast, despite my love of both French Canadian cinema and of just flat out anything that's a vampire movie, especially a well-regarded vampire movie, and this is going to sound so mean of me to say, and this is going to sound so shallow, but I didn't like any of the posters. All the posters look bad.
That's okay. You're a poster designer. Listen, I think that's totally fine.
Every poster for this movie is, but whether it's the original French poster, which has been adapted to most markets, or the subsequent American poster, have all been a shot of Sasha, our lead, in pretty tight close-up, cut in half on either side of the poster, so you just get like nose and one eye. And then
she's like sort of drinking from a blood bag. It looks like
that's on the French poster, and on the American poster, it's just a head-on shot of her, and then a very poorly photoshopped blood drip coming from her lip, and then both have just big block text of the title, the very long title, in pink on the French and just red on the American. And it's just a wall of text that's really hard to connect with. I think the original French Canadian poster is a lot better.
That's what I'm looking at on the wiki.
It's still not compelling enough to get me to watch the movie.
To my eye, but a little boring, I would say.
Yeah, it's very dark. It's a big black background. The blood bag doesn't really pop. The blood bag just kind of comes off as like black also. Her expression is giving very little. The US poster that I think Bloodhaus put out is even worse. It's really bad. It's clearly like a rezzed up screenshot to the point that it looks a little out of focus. And the blood drip that's added to her lip is clearly stock, and it's super crisp and sharply in focus with no film grain on it. So it's just like jumps straight out at you. And it's also similarly very dark, very black, and then has this big chunk of text on the right hand side. And neither of these posters give me the tone that this movie actually gives.
Which is a bummer because the title is so compelling and tells you exactly what you're going to get. Like it prepares you for the tone exactly.
Perfectly.
Yeah, it's a great title.
It's basically the plot of the movie as a title.
Yeah.
It's very smart. I loved it, and I'm so glad that I finally did sit down and watch it, but it's really kind of made me be like, can I just redesign a poster for this movie?
Yeah.
Please, God, someone needs to fix this. I am worried that more people aren't going to watch it because it has bad art. Like, if I was, like, strolling the aisles of Blockbuster, which is not a thing that anyone does anymore, and that was sitting on a shelf, I would never pick it up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So this movie has a sort of slightly different vampire mythology. Vampires seem to be like a subspecies or a counter species to humans, in that they have families and they mate. And so Sasha, our main vampire, is a young vampire at a tender age of 68. She's a piano prodigy, and she's traumatized at a young age by watching her family murder a clown at her birthday. And therefore, she cannot hunt and kill people to feed off of. So she only feeds out of bags, which is a big concern to her parents because they're worried about her potential to be an independent adult vampire. And so she gets shipped off to live with her cousin, Denise, who's a delight. So that's sort of the setup. What this movie pulls off as like a really clever trick is that in a lesser movie, this character could be really annoying, because the truth is, if you love vampire movies, even evil vampires, you're always kind of rooting for the vampires because they're so delightful and sexy most of the time. So this character, Sasha, could feel like a bit of a wet blanket, but she never does here. You really, at least I felt like I was really in lockstep with her emotionally, and my empathy was with her. And I understood her and really cared about her, in spite of also loving her family and Denise in particular.
I love her family.
I was with her entirely. You know, I really cared about her and understood her and was never annoyed by her, pacifism. I really
vegetarian tendencies.
Yeah, I think that's a real trick in a movie like this. It's like a real coup. I
think a lot of that comes down to the performance. I think
she's so good.
Who is the lead actress?
She has a great name. Her name is Sarah Monpetit.
Oh my god. Her performance is so good. And again, it's very easy for that character to come off as twee or insufferable or like a kind of manic pixie dream girl of the late 90s and early 2000s. She's got her long oversized coat. She's got her like go-to Converse high tops that she wears all the time. It's a very specific outfit. The very severe black bangs and long hair, the like big heavy dark eyebrows. It's very, and her like, you know, denial of her vampirism very much. And it can very easily be like, just fucking do it. Just
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
do it. Come on, you fucking dork. Just do it. However, to your point, we do absolutely like sympathize with her and can understand her because she plays it so earnest in a way that I feel like I see myself as a teenager in the same way of like, you know, maybe I wasn't encouraged by my family to murder people, but also like, you know, you don't want to go to church. You don't want to eat that. You don't want to,
exactly.
like, there's always the one thing.
Any outsider could relate in some way.
Yeah, extremely. And, you know, being different than your vampire family is, you know, an outsider among outsiders, which is like a really good setup to relate to a character. But I will say, when she finally did it, Ivory and I literally clapped. Not intentionally, not intended to be in unison. We just both went, woo! Because it was so earned and so deserved in that moment.
I also love Paul, both the character and the actor. He's played by Félix Antoine Bernard. I think he's so cute. The performance is so darling. The character is so darling. The actor is so darling.
He's also someone that could easily be like too dweeby, too annoying. Especially when he's like, I collect rocks. And he's got like little posters for like the Apollo and stuff all around his bedroom. It's very easy. But also you can understand why he's being bullied.
Yeah.
And you can also understand they give him enough dialogue that you understand that he is intelligent and that he is smart and that he has a sense of humor and he has a wit. But he has no other way of taking care of himself. And he is like an exceptionally tragic character in my eyes. Because on the one hand, Sasha is struggling and she has issues that like her father is sympathetic to, but it seems like other members of her family are not. And they're trying to push her out of the nest after 68 years. Which is so funny to me. Which is a very delayed drop, by the way.
Right.
On the other hand, Paul like lives with a single mother. It's never stated or even implied the status of his father, whether he was raised without a father, whether there was a divorce or a death. It's never mentioned. It's just he has his mother and that's it. And his mother is extremely loving, takes great care of him, is very connected with him. And he is more, has a stronger suicidal ideation than she does.
Yeah.
And it's really, really heartbreaking to see someone that has like everything that she wishes she had. She doesn't have a good relationship with her mother. She has a more contentious relationship with her mother. She wants to be able to be in the sun. She wants to go to school. She wants to eat food. She wants to have this life in this world. And that's everything that he has. And he wants to kill himself. He's like sneaking out of the house to go to like suicide meetings.
Yeah. I hadn't considered that. That's so interesting. I was coming at it. I mean, to me, it was interesting. I think that Paul's suicide drive did not read to me at all like a phase or like a teenage whimsy. Like I think some people uncharitably might. I think it seemed genuine to me, and that felt like so sad because of his relationship with his mom, who I loved. You know, I'm a big sucker for like a working class single mom narrative in general.
Fright Night has one of the best ones.
Oh, so good. I love Paul's mom, and she's just she works so hard and works at night, and you know, I just like really loved their relationship, and my mom was dying when I watched it too, so that was probably in the room with me. And so like that story just made me so sad, and probably just made me really connect with Paul a lot as somebody who's really had some depression issues of my own over the years.
I mean, I also grew up as a Midwestern teenage male with a single mother who was working, and who was, for the good majority of my schooling career, was bullied on the outside and didn't have any friends, if not many friends. And I could immediately relate to and see myself.
Me too. I really related
both of
to
them,
Paul.
but especially in Paul. And it was really, 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 really tough. And I think it's part of the other reason why watching this movie, I was like, oh yeah, this is like all the kind of stuff that I would have wanted to write or was trying to write when I was that age. Because there's an entire like middle section of this movie where he gets like quick revenge on all the like
it's so gratifying
students and teachers that have wronged him. And it's so well structured and paced because all the setup to that we get in like one quick 15-minute sequence.
Yeah.
Very, very quick. We get like a slice of a day in his life near the beginning of him being introduced, and then that gets paid off with all these like revenges down the line. And they don't take a lot of time setting it up. None of the revenges and none of the bullying are too far of the line.
Yeah.
Nothing is like on the verge of abuse and harassment, but
it's very innocent. You know, it's like very within the teen film genre. Do you know what I mean? It's not like in a more rated R movie, they'd be like killing these people.
It's not Let the Right One In or something like that. Yeah. And again, it stays with the humanist nature of these two characters, and I think it's very, very sweet. I think it's very, very, very well achieved. Go ahead.
Well, speaking of Let the Right One In and other similar vampire movies, there's one scene in this that kind of sticks in my craw a little bit, and I want to get your thoughts on it because to me it's referencing another vampire movie that I actually really love and you don't really like at all. So there's a scene when Sasha takes Paul home and she puts on a record, and the record is like an old song called Emotion.
Yes.
And it seems to be a very clear reference to the movie A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, when the vampire brings a boy home and plays a record, and the record is Death by White Lies. And they're similar in that they're both a single shot, and the scene is choreographed to the song, and you listen to the entire song, and the scene plays out in one shot, choreographed to this song. It seems like a very clear homage, ?
Yeah.
Rip-off ? I don't know. I mean, that's the question, I guess. Is this an homage? Or is it a rip-off? I mean, A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night is that an old enough film, a classic enough film that everyone can clearly be like, this is an homage to A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night? Or is it just a ripoff?
Well, it's been over a decade.
I know. I mean, that's why I'm asking the question.
Which is a feeling.
It bugged me. It bugged me when I watched the movie, I guess it's the truth. Well, and I would say that the song choice felt like it betrayed the character of Sasha. It didn't feel truthful to Sasha to me. And it felt like this is a pretty girl's version of the other scene. It's like a less cool girl's version of like, oh, I like that. I'm going to do it with like a nicer song. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't like it. That's
understand that feeling. I disagree. I loved that scene. And I also did think of Girl Walks Home Alone at Night in that scene, but in a different context. Because the Girl That Walks Home Alone at Night scene is like a breath of fresh air when that hits in that movie. It's very jarring, and it's like kind of like a spark of life and vitality in a very like intentionally locked off still and stayed film. And this movie is also very dialed back and controlled in a very certain way, but it's much more poppy compared to the Annapurna film. But I was really struck by the way that this movie kind of leveled up this scene as compared to that one, the directing and the performances of both actors in the scene, I think, is phenomenal and gets really, really, really well at teenage flirting and desire. And on top of that, it's then elevated by the lighting of the scene as the scene progresses. And I found it really effective. To me, it took me straight back to college and high school, and that awkward way of trying to like be open and share in a way that is like flirtatious and trying to get closer to someone, but not being able to like sense boundaries and sense the line between. And it's very cute and very awkward and very relatable. And I thought that the balance of the two performances and the timing of the two performances was really well directed.
I liked the way it was directed.
I could tell it was rehearsed a lot.
I liked the choreography of the scene. I just felt like it was the one scene in the movie that I didn't like the way that the other movie was being referenced. And I also felt like it was the one moment that to me felt too twee. It like kind of knocked it up one notch too far for me.
Well, to the tweeness, I think it's maybe less
or
of
like too self-aware, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know if it's directly trying to do Girl Walks Home as much as it is doing Before Sunrise and Amelie. I feel like I think it has a foot more in, because if you think about when they go to the record store and Before Sunrise and they put themselves in the listening booth, it made me think more of that scene, and it made me think. I haven't
seen that in like I don't know how many years. and
it's a 30-year-old movie, so
yeah.
I feel like that's what it was giving me more of, because compositionally it's not similar at all to the scene in Girl Walks Home. It is on paper in terms of like activity and in terms of shot length, but in terms of shot composition, it's totally different. And I feel like it. Whereas
I don't think anyone who watches vampire I'm going to push back. I don't think anyone who watches vampire movies could watch this and not immediately think of A Girl Who Walks Home Alone at Night.
I mean, that's
you
that's
did
fair.
And I did.
Yes.
The two people recording this podcast both did. So
I mean, I do think that's fair, and I do think that's accurate. But I don't think it's aiming for that as much as it is mixing in those other things. I think that's an element. I don't think it's the sole reference point. And again, I think it's more successful than Girl Walks Home.
I mean, that's just a matter of personal taste, I suppose, and we won't know unless we just ask her. But that's my feeling, and I don't know what else to say about it.
Because I mean, that scene is like all shot from profile, and it's more about like unleashing something inside of her and him saying that for the first time. It's less of like a balance between the two of them. I don't know. I think there are definitely strong similarities between the two of them, but I also think that they're different enough that it's not a copy and paste. If she was riding a skateboard or something like that.
She's not riding a skateboard in that scene. But I think it would be uncharitable to say it's just like it would be too uncharitable to say it's like a complete copy and paste. But I don't know. To me, it rankled me a little bit. That's all. And I felt like, to me, it was like a little bit too twee because of the song choice. And I don't know. Something about the scene was just like, oh, this is like too much for me. That's all.
My only issue would be the song choice, because the like tone and era of the song I think is perfect and works great. However, I do think the lyrical content is maybe a little too on the nose. However, that's because we're an English speaking audience. I think
true.
If you're French Canadian and you're like, ooh, a fun 60s English language song. I don't know what they're saying, but whatever.
You just give me such a perfect segue to talk about something that I wanted to talk about, because with this movie and with Red Rooms and with visiting Montreal, it truly does not make any sense to me when people are going to bust out English or not.
Oh, yeah.
I just, there's no rhyme or reason. They seem to have some sort of internal rhyme and reason for when they're going to just suddenly speak English. But it doesn't make any sense to me. And I remember being in Montreal for 2 weeks and suddenly like a cashier would just say something in English out of nowhere. And it would be like so jarring.
It gets blended in. Yeah.
And they did it in this movie and in Red Rooms where they would be like, Red Rooms. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like so weird.
I think this movie kind of uses it maybe a little bit more interestingly, that dichotomy, because to my memory, Denise and Sasha and Paul don't do that.
But some of the kids at school do. They'll be like,
exactly,
very cool,
exactly,
or whatever.
The shitty kids at school do, and JP, who spoiler alert,
who I love,
yeah, who's so funny. But they like come over, and well, he also gets called out for like mixing in Spanish and mixing in English and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When Sasha and Paul leave, he's speaking to them in French, and then immediately goes, "Have a good time," and you're like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" I think it's maybe used a little bit more as characterization in this movie to kind of show that the kind of shittier characters mix in English and stuff like that, which is a very kind of like French Canadian perception of the world of like, how dare you not speak French. It's also notable near the end of the movie when Sasha and Paul are like working on their escape plan. He's like, "We only have $500. We can only go. We don't have passports, and neither of us speak English." Like, it's very like it's a detriment to them. Additionally, as well, that like even in Canada, there's only so far they can go. They can't.
There was a discussion of that in Red Rooms too. Like the weird little obsessive girl was like, at some point, like, I don't speak English. What am I gonna do? You know what I mean?
It's a very limited part of the world. Like you can only exist in French Canada, or you have to go to France. Like, or you learn English and you can go to anywhere else in Canada, or go down to America and stuff like that. It's very interesting and very limiting. And I'm sure you're aware of the like Quebecois like party that's like, we like, Quebecois for Quebecois, like only speak French, extremely secessionist, very conservative. Yeah,
I believe, and someone who's French can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there's also, I think that French people also sort of think that Quebecois people are like a little bit trashy, like the accent is considered trashy, and there's like a prejudice in that direction as well.
I personally really enjoy the Quebecois accent, because
me too.
It's almost exactly the same, but they hit their R's a lot harder. Yeah. So it sounds extremely Midwestern.
I love
if
almost
French
all
can.
accents.
That's also true. But literally while watching this movie, at first I was like, I know it's in French. Is this France? Is this Canada? And then within 2 lines of dialogue, I was like, Canada.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's the poutine scene, as if you didn't already know.
That's the nastiest looking poutine I've ever seen in my life. They really chose like the grossest looking poutine to give her ever. Because poutine is like the most delicious food in the world.
So good.
So they really had to make it nasty looking to like phone in how she must be feeling in that moment. Because if I think it looks gross, I mean, I love poutine. I ate poutine twice a day in Montreal.
There used to be a poutine restaurant in Hollywood that I mourn the death of so much.
Man. Poutine is so good.
Montreal poutine, specifically with like shaved roast beef and like a pickle.
Gosh, so
good. I want it so bad. But also I get it. Like, if eating anything will kill you, and you have to watch people eat poutine, I'd be tempted.
I would be tempted too. Although I'm like, that poutine had like bacon and stuff on it. It looked like, I'm a simpleton. Like I like it just the cheese and gravy. I don't like anything else. Just simple.
I like it. I like it with some shaved beef. I like it with a pickle. I like it with mustard. I like it a bit richer. I don't know, but it is so gooey and smooth and delicious. I want some fucking poutine.
Especially when you're hungover. I mean, like, God, it's so good when you drink too much.
The poutine place in Hollywood used to be open till like 2 a.m. So you used to like leave a bar and then go get poutine for the ride home. It was they also had like a pump thing, you know how at like restaurants they'll have like a big like condiment pump, like ketchup and mustard. They had that, and then at the end of it was Tabasco in a pump, and I was like, this is my heaven. And then they went out of business.
There used to be this place in London in Shoreditch that would be open till like 4 a.m, and so when you were drunk you'd go there and wait in line and get a salted beef, or is that what it's called? A salted beef, which was like salted beef, which is like roast beef on a bagel.
Yum.
With spicy mustard and a gherkin.
Yum.
And that is so good when you're hungover. Like that is when you've been drinking all night. Like that really hit the spot. I think it's gone now, but I was just thinking of it because I saw someone wearing the T-shirt of that place here in LA somewhere. I was like, oh my God, I haven't thought of that in years.
This is a dangerous topic to get into recording.
I know, we'll have to cut it like the pickle episode.
How dare you? No, I'm not letting you do this again. We've had so many people message us about the pickle content. I'm not letting you cut out the poutine chat.
I'm cutting it right now. We're done. No more.
Well, on a similar topic, I will bring it around to vampire mythology.
Okay.
Because that is tying back to the movie, but still talking about food, which is a big part of the vampire mythology in this film specifically, is that they can't eat human food at all. And to so much so that if they eat even like a cookie, it will kill them. Which is not part of most other vampire mythologies. A lot of other vampire mythologies will play with,
they'll like throw up or something or get
that
sick.
Yeah, What We Do in the Shadows does that. Dracula in like Bram Stoker literature never like makes a hard line either way. Of course, in the movie there's the famous Bela Lugosi.
They do it and let the right one in. Like she eats candy and throws up, gets sick.
That's true. The idea that their body can't digest it. But a lot of other and older vampire literature and mythos, there's no issue. And Carmilla's just, eats a salad. It's whatever. Yeah. So I always find that very interesting when they switch it up. And while watching it, Ivory and I were like, would you be turned into a vampire if it meant you could never eat again? And I had to think about it. I mean, yes, but still, like, hell yeah. Like, immortality with that many books to read, always. But, like, it's just a little... I would miss a spicy poutine.
I would miss it, too.
I would miss a pickle. I would miss these things. But
I miss buttered popcorn at the movies.
Christ. I'm so hungry. Anyway...
But LA's really fucked me up. There's a part of me that would love to never eat again, and that's LA's fault.
Yeah. I mean, it's talk about the perfect eating disorder. Supernatural creature. Liquid diet.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I do love the like refrigerators in this movie that have kind of the bars going through them so they can just hang blood bags and nothing else. Love that. We need to get into Denise a little bit more and everything about her house, but her fridge being like chained so she can't get anything.
I love the paintings in her house. I love that her house is a garage, I think. Yep. It's like a loft, but a garage. Everything about Denise is terrific, which is really saying a lot about how successful they are at creating Sasha, because again, in a lesser movie, especially compared to Denise, Sasha would be such a wet blanket. But God, I love Denise. Like, she's who you want to be, really.
100%. And you feel in the scene where she stops Sasha from fully feeding on JP. I get so annoyed with Sasha. I get so mad.
I was annoyed with her in that scene too.
It's like I would beat her ass.
Yeah.
I do love the cinematography of that scene though, and the way they set it up. The like flickering red light at the traffic light, like way off in the distance.
Yeah.
In the long shots of that is so beautiful. But also, like, growing up in the Midwest, if you're out and about past 1 a.m. or whatever, all the traffic lights turn to that. And it's a very specific way of setting time and place that I find really cozy to me, really specific, but it's used in a nice, like, haunting and chilling way. I don't know, it makes me really happy to see Midwestern tropes used to, like, Gothic accord. The house they live in with a little station wagon, I think
so
is
good.
Adorable. I love her parents' house so much.
Yeah.
Denise's loft is very 80s, very 90s, and the like almost like Dexter-esque like kill room right off the entrance is so funny. And the off-camera sequence of her dealing with
those two hitchhikers.
The two hitchhikers is so great. It's also funny. I had some friends over last night to like see the new place and to watch the new cut of the Norm Macdonald movie Dirty Work. A 90s masterpiece, also Canadian filmed. But that I don't know if you've seen Dirty Work or not, but
I'm not familiar.
It has a really, really, really famous extended off-camera gag where something heinous and horrible happens just off camera, so you only hear it as you just see the reaction shot of Artie Lang and Norm Macdonald, and it's so violent and fucked up and hilarious. And then watching this the next day right after with basically the same gag but in a more like morose tone was so good, because you can hear Denise seducing these guys and trying to get them into like, oh yeah, you like being tied up, and then it very quickly turns to like no and screaming and like viscera. So good, so funny. It's very economical. I always think it works. There's bits like that in Bottle Rocket that also kill me every time.
Yeah, there are.
I don't know. It's one of my favorite tropes, and it never doesn't work.
Well, let's play our favorite game. We haven't played it in so long. Have they seen it? Where we speculate wildly whether notable figures have seen this movie. I'll go first. I'm thinking of this person out of nowhere. I guess because she speaks French. I'm thinking of Molly Ringwald.
My guess was Jodie Foster, but yeah, you're right.
Has Molly Ringwald seen this?
I'm gonna say no. I feel
Do you think she would like it? I mean, she's a teen star.
She is a star of the teen rom-com. I think she would enjoy it.
She would never watch it, I think, but I think she would like it if she were forced to watch it.
Yes. So the only ways to watch this are on Shudder or AMC or I think Mubi. But no one has a movie subscription anymore. Because
like if Adrada Matilda was like, let's watch this on Mubi.
Well, the reason no one has a movie subscription anymore is because everyone unsubscribed to Mubi because they're taking money from the Israeli defense contractors. Yeah, that's why. So if her daughter was like, let's watch this on AMC Plus, I feel like she would be into it and she would like it. But I feel like Molly Ringwald only watches stuff on the Criterion Channel.
Could be. She's very sophisticated, that Molly Ringwald.
She's extremely sophisticated, extremely intelligent, and extremely smart. And I feel like is mostly watching like Jean Renoir movies.
Yeah.
But I think she would enjoy this, but
she hasn't seen it.
I don't see her choosing it, and I don't see it like, especially with like the deluge of streaming and how everything is, there's like no way of like having access to everything, but it also feels like everything is accessible. I feel like this got good reviews out of festivals, and then I don't even remember it playing theatrically here in LA. I just remember being like, oh, I heard about that. That sounds good. And then all of a sudden it was on streaming.
I feel like the buzz I saw about it was like from people seeing it at festivals.
Yes. Yeah. It would have been nice to get a theatrical release, and it's a very good movie, and I want more for it. I want a better release. I want better art. I want people to know more about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So the person I'm thinking of, I've mentioned offhandedly earlier, or at least her work earlier in the episode, because she made a similar wonderful teen monster rom-com that owes just as much to John Hughes and Tim Burton as this. Do you think that Zelda Williams, director of Lisa Frankenstein and daughter of Robin, has seen Humanist Vampire?
100%. I don't think there's a way that she couldn't see it because of like festivals and stuff, right?
That's fair. But even if she wasn't at one of the umpteen festivals that was showing it, I feel like she probably got so many emails from people being like, whoa, you would like this.
Totally. I do have a question though, which is like, do we think that Zelda Williams is a horror person, or is that just like the movie that she got to make because she got the opportunity to make that movie?
I know for a fact that she is a big horror person. She's
really?
like a really big horror person. Yeah.
Okay, great. Then yes, for sure she had seen this, and I assume she would like it. I mean, based on the movies she made,
I feel like she would love it, and it wouldn't surprise me if she's like cajoling people around LA to see this movie. If she's like hosting screenings at her house of this movie to get people to watch it. This feels like if there's anyone in the world that's like a cheerleader for this movie, it might be her.
Yeah.
As well she should. I would love to see like Vidius or something do a double feature of this and Lisa. I think that would be a great time.
I really like Lisa Frankenstein a lot. I think this movie is a lot better than Lisa Frankenstein.
That's fair. And it might be. I like both so much. I couldn't delineate. And I think they would make an interesting double feature and an interesting cross compare. And I think they both handle their respective mythos and monsters in very interesting and original ways.
Cole Sprouse is so good in Lisa Frankenstein.
He's so good. Oh my God. I was literally listening to a podcast the other day. I've been having so many podcasts on while like working and doing woodwork around the house. It's very easy to just zone in and out. But it was from like a couple years ago. And it was someone talking about how like Cole Sprouse is great, but he's so annoying. He needs to be in a role where he can just kind of shut up and be the hot guy. And I'm like, hey, they did it. They did it. Hey, they listened. They took your note and they made it.
I am thinking of an actress who is a confirmed horror lover, but she is a bit older, and this is a teen movie, so it could go either way. I'm thinking of Cate Blanchett.
Hell yeah.
You think Cate Blanchett saw this movie?
I think she caught this at a festival.
Yeah, it could be.
I mean, she may not have loved this movie. This might not be like, you know.
It might be too funny and cute for her because she loves like, she said she loves Evil Dead.
Yeah, she likes Cannibal Holocaust. She likes fucked up stuff. She's friends with Eli Roth, which in itself is a fucked up thing to do. You know, I'm sure she saw it at festivals because she just saw like the word vampire and suicide in a title, and it was like, I'm going to that screening. Bye. I think she really enjoyed it. I think it's probably like a 3.5 star movie for her. I think she was like, it was a good time. It was cute. Yeah, I think she had a good time with it. I mean, she's done cute twee things before. I was thinking of Cate Blanchett while watching this movie though, because a lot of Denise's character and also Denise's big like murder loft kept reminding me of Cate Blanchett's character in Ocean's 8, and I can't explain why. I don't know. Big evil lesbian vibes.
Yeah.
Positive. Yeah, I definitely think she's seen it. I would be very surprised if she hadn't, but I feel like she would like it. I mean,
I think she would too.
Speaking of her working with Eli Roth, she did The House with a Clock in Its Walls. She did his like kids horror movie.
Yeah.
Which is bad.
I think sometimes when you're older, I speak from personal experience, as much as you might like it, it does get harder to access teen movies emotionally.
That's fair.
In a weird way. Even if it's a really good one like this, it just gets harder and harder, and I don't know why. It's kind of shitty. When I saw Bottoms, I was like, God, this is so good, and yet it will not be like one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time, like it would have been if I were 25 watching this.
That's fair. I really love Bottoms. I really love Booksmart. There's been a lot of really good teen, centric.
Yeah, I love Booksmart.
Stuff that's come out as I've been in my 20s and heading into my 30s. And they're both the kinds of things that I have to kind of remind myself that I like after a while.
Yeah.
I have a very strong emotional connection to them when I first see them, and they work for me comedically and stuff like that. But at the same time, I'm not a teenager anymore. And it's foolish of me to try to be and to try and live in that headspace all the time. But it is really fun to revisit those things and get to experience that again. And I think that's why they're valuable. I don't watch Fast Times at Ridgemont High every day, but the once a year or once every 2 years that I pop it on, it's a great feeling and it's a great experience. And I think I like and appreciate teen movies more now than I did as a teenager, because as a teenager it was a lot of like bumping against reality that like either positive or negative that didn't work for me. And now a little bit older, it's a lot easier for me to just kind of be like, no, it's cute.
I will say the teen movies I love the most are not from my own era. Weirdly.
I agree. I don't feel like in the era that I was a teenager, I don't think there was a lot of good teenage films.
With some exceptions. I love Clueless, of course, which is from
Clueless
era.
Is great.
There's some exceptions, but I'm not rewatching She's All That.
I feel like the late 90s had a great teen boom, or at least a large teen boom.
Yeah, there's some good ones. I mean,
Rushmore being the best of those to me.
I don't think of that as a teen movie, but it is, of course.
Very much so. Yeah, I mean, it's technically not, but it very much is. For me, being a teenager in the late 2000s, early 2010s, we had Easy A and Superbad, bad. Nothing against Emma Stone, but bad across the board. I'm not into
those movies.
So I was watching 80s movies and 70s movies and 90s movies. And now that we have better teen movies again, I can go watch those and enjoy those. But there was dog shit when it was like Perks of Being a Wallflower.
I've never seen that movie, but I loved that book when it came out.
I think you would find that movie insufferably twee.
I bet I would.
Yeah.
I was talking to Harmony and BJ, who host that podcast, This Ends at Prom, about teen movies. And I was talking about my favorite teen movies, which are from the late 70s to early 80s, and they're always about juvenile delinquents. And Harmony was like, oh, before they knew how to make teen movies, before they figured out how to make teen movies. And I guess she's right, but I was also like, I think that's probably why I like them so much, is they're weird and rough around the edges, and I don't know, they're about bad kids. And
I like those movies a lot too, because it feels like they're being made by people that are afraid of teenagers to a degree.
Yeah.
Which I respect.
Yeah.
I respect a healthy amount of fear. I feel it really took the 80s to kind of change.
John Hughes, I think, kind of codified it.
And teen movies have existed since the 50s, when the idea of a teenager first existed.
Yeah.
But it's important to note that no movies were made by people who were technically teenagers when teenagers were a codified term and thing until the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
If you were making a movie in the 60s and early 70s about teenagers, then your teenage years, you weren't being called a teenager. You weren't having that level of independence and stuff. You're making a movie about something that a youth movement that you have no connection to. So it took until the late 70s, early 80s for people Jonathan Kaplan and John Hughes and the guy who directed Little Darlings, who I can't think of the name of right now, to make these movies with more kind of pathos. Meatballs, I think, is also a successful
I love Meatballs
version of that too. Caddyshack was supposed to be, and then they changed it. Okay. One more, because that's the game. There's been, I think, a real boon and resurgence in Canadian filmmaking and French Canadian filmmaking specifically in the past handful of years. And I don't know what it is outside of government subsidies, why that's been a thing, but it has. And I mean, we covered Red Rooms here a few months ago, which is so goddamn good. And, you know, Guy Maddin is back in the world making films with Cate Blanchett. And among that is Matthew Rankin, who made The 20th Century and then Universal Language, which came out last year, earlier this year, which for me is still the best movie of the year. And is a movie about Quebec and about French-Canadian identity, butting up against a burgeoning Iranian-Canadian identity and a sort of real Iranian-Canadian diaspora and the way that those parts of the culture kind of mix and combine. Ed is fluent in French, English, and Farsi. Do you think that Matthew Rankin has seen Humanist Vampire?
Gosh, I suppose so, because I bet that the scene is still small in Quebec, but it feels like I'm trying to figure out a way to say this that is not putting this movie down, because I love this movie, but it feels like this movie might appear to be like slight to somebody like him, or too popcorny or commercial or something, but maybe not. Maybe he's not that big of an asshole. It seems like he makes very serious arty films, you know?
He makes very arty films, but I don't think, and I think, you know, the emotions in them are serious, but I don't think the movies themselves.
Well, I haven't seen any of them either, so I'm just like guessing.
It is my goal to make sure you watch Universal Language by the end of this year, because I think it would feel like a warm hug to you in a really, really big way. Universal Language is a comedy, and 20th Century is a very absurdist comedy. And additionally, I think of Rankin as being an exceptionally humanist filmmaker. He's very concerned about human connection and about human warmth and about helping out neighbors and strangers. And I think simply seeing the word humanist in the title of a movie would make him want to see it. But additionally, I think that Humanist Vampire has a very gentle tone that I think would appeal to him. And, you know, I got to meet him in passing at a screening of Universal Language, and he's an incredibly kind man. He's, there was no ego on him whatsoever. Very, very gentle, shy Canadian boy. I think he would love this movie.
Then yes, yeah.
You know, it's probably not going to make his Sight and Sound list, or maybe it wasn't on his like best of the year list, but I think he had a lot of good things to say about it. I'm certain he's seen it, and I feel like he probably would have tracked down the director and sent her a very nice little email.
I mean, it's objectively good. I think it would be hard to say anything too negative about this movie. It's objectively good, I think.
I think it's very, very, very lovely, and I'm very excited to see what Ariane Louis does next. I mean, this being her feature debut is
incredible.
Very, very, very impressive.
Yeah, agree. Well, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Bloodhaus, and thank you so much for your patience with us and for sending me nice notes this summer when things were so hard. We really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Please rate us 5 stars wherever you listen to podcasts. You can email us at bloodhousepod@gmail.com. You can follow us on Blue Sky or Instagram at bloodhousepod. Drusilla, where can people follow you?
You can find me and my work over at my website, sisterhighdesign.com. There's a whole bunch of new stuff up over there. I have a new poster out for the movie Train Dreams, starring Joel Edgerton and Felicity Jones, that comes out in November. Very, very proud of that. With my agency Percival and Associates, that is out now. You can see that on my website or, online. I also recently did new artwork for Error Video's restoration of Abel Ferrara's Ms. 45. That's up on my site
So
and
cool.
out there. You can pre-order that from Error's website now in America or in the UK on Blu-ray or on 4K. It's a really big set. I got to do so much art for it. It's real big and chunky, and you can finally own one of the most important 70s Bloodhaus adjacent, I mean, we covered it, movies ever that's been out of print painfully long. And I'm super honored to have gotten to make art for that. So that's all out over there. I also got to do new art for Alice Mayo McKay's new film, Serpent Skin.
Oh, wow.
Which just premiered at Fantasia in Canada. So I've been extremely busy, and there's a lot of stuff dropping. There'll be even more stuff dropping in the coming weeks. So keep, that website flagged. You can also follow me on Instagram at Sisterhide Design, or just at Sisterhide. Oh my god. And you can follow me on Letterboxd. If you look for Drusilla Adeline or Sisterhide, you can follow me over there, and you can find my reviews of Roller Coaster and Dirty Work. What about you? And you can be very surprised at which one I liked more than the other. What about you, Josh? How can people follow you and support you out in the world?
I'm at Joshua Conkel on Blue Sky, Instagram, and Letterboxd. What are we watching next week? It's a new one for me, and I can't wait.
Yeah, next week we are watching it's funny that we started this episode on me talking about how I don't like science fiction movies because we're from the 60s, because we're about to talk about one of my favorite science fiction movies from the 60s, a very surrealist identity disorder plunge from the legendary American thriller filmmaker John Frankenheimer, and shot by the greatest cinematographer of all time, James Wong Howe, and starring America's hunkiest closeted hunk of all time in his most compelling and different performance ever. We will be discussing Rock Hudson in the surrealist sci-fi horror masterpiece, Seconds.
Can't wait. Very curious about that. So good to be back, and see you next week. Thank you. Bye.